So I'm Maria. I am the president of ProLife Europe, an organization defending life in Europe. We have different groups in Europe, and I am so happy that to have the visit of PAAU, of you girls here. Very thankful for everything you shared, for all of the stories that I've heard, for the interaction, especially for the opportunity of doing together with your experience the sidewalk counseling, which I didn't thought about it before, like to do it. It was not an option for us. We are doing university outreach and like just street outreach, and we never thought about doing that. And I have to say, I was really impacted by the way people are actually much more open to help at the exact moment before getting an abortion, and you see the vulnerability of the people who are going into the abortion facility.
Yeah, I think it was really a beautiful experience having this sense of like co-learning and co-struggling this week because, you know, PAAU, we're known for our bold actions. And so when we went out in front of this university, and which is situated in this open plaza in downtown Vienna, we saw this boldness from the Vienna group of just walking up to strangers and starting these like intimate, vulnerable conversations of what do you think about abortion. And it felt weird, like, wow, I'm out of my element right now. And like I liked being out of my element. I liked that unsettling feeling because it's like I'm learning something new. I've been in this for over a decade, and like I still love learning and growing, and to be able to grow in Vienna in this way, it was so inspiring. And like we took that energy right in front of a notorious abortionist in Vienna, and like to be able to see how they do street outreach in Vienna was so easily transferable to right out in front of the abortion business. They were naturals. It was amazing. I was so excited. Me, like myself, Caroline and Melanie, we just like took a step back. We were like, okay, they got it. And it was exciting to see this blossoming right in front of our eyes.
Yeah, and I think like it's good to have like, okay, someone coming over, and I didn't think about like just to have someone doing it in, you know, like you have the security of someone who did it before, and I would never come to the idea maybe of doing this. We did vigils before, but it's just like the security of like, okay, they've done this, it must be okay, and people we trust, even if the police showed up, and it was like the security of like, okay, there were some people doing this, there was someone in prison for this, so I think it's okay, I can handle this if the police comes, and this gives us a lot of strength, especially like to hang out with you guys, also to just to see of how much you've been doing, to, you know, like just to meet you and speak with you gives a lot of strength to our team, and to see what you guys where you have been, what you have done also, and it's just like we can drink from that and like regain a lot of energy and a lot of power, because it's not easy. Sometimes we feel low. We did have a webinar some days ago where you also shared your experience, and we share sometimes the same problems, and just to share this, to be together and to talk about the difficulties, and to know that we have some people doing it, like even more, like sacrificing even more. It's very inspiring for us. And
building this international solidarity, because our struggles are so connected, especially with the fetal organ harvesting that we're learning as we're coming to Europe, learning how deeply it's expanding in the EU, and like how important it is, these struggles, being connected and sharing our lessons and sharing what inspires each other. It's just been a deep well that we're pulling from, and very rewarding, I believe. And
also like maybe not just like, of course the experience could like raise a lot of emotions, but also to brainstorm together, to more maybe asking from your experience, you know, like what is an effective way of working, what can we do to really end abortion, which is the ultimate goal, right? Like, so to learn from each other, to know like what is the most efficient way of stop this killing.
I think what I learned the most, which was very humbling for myself, because in America we're using our signs, we're using our megaphones, we're using our literature, and we're having these tools, and it's almost a crutch. I didn't realize how much of a crutch it was. And so like I'm out in this plaza, I don't have literature, I don't even have like knowledge of the German language, and I don't have a sign, and I don't have a megaphone, and I just have myself. and I just need to be my most authentic self and being brave and going out to these people. And I'm watching the other people just go up so bravely, and it's just like I'd never realized how much like using the signs, using the megaphone was a crutch for me, because it allowed me into a space more forcibly, whereas here it's like really like more like authentic, subtle changing of hearts and minds. And I really liked that, and I learned a lot from that. And so I was very thankful for that opportunity, and grew a lot even in that discomfort.
So the one that maybe the two that impacted me the most was first like a couple. She very obviously wanted to keep the child. She was with her boyfriend, the girl, and they were in a difficult situation. The boyfriend was in a difficult situation, a difficult legal situation. But she was obviously trying kind of to convince him to have the child, and he didn't want it. And so they decided to still walk in. We had maybe a 10-minute conversation, very calm, all of us being very kind, very open, everyone sharing their own thoughts on it. And then they still went inside to get an ultrasound, and they both left, and we went the day after, which was today, and the girl came in alone, obviously heartbroken, and said obviously he doesn't care, the father of my child, in that sense, the father of her child. He on her own words, he doesn't care. I don't want to do this alone. To see with his eyes, and to really witness that this is not a free choice. Like, we are always constantly hearing, it's about women's choice. And even when the police came, like who is there for this woman? Like, if I wouldn't been there, she probably went for the abortion by now. She probably had an abortion. Still, it's. Who would have been there for her? And this is going to make a difference for her for sure. There was also another story of a 15-year-old who obviously was in shock. She was in a very vulnerable position. She was there alone. And I talked with her. I told her that there would be help for her. She told me she is getting this abortion because her father told her he didn't want to speak or see her before he would get rid of it. On her own words also, she said, well, I perfectly know that this is not right because I know it's a baby and I don't want this. Of course, I see that it's a very difficult situation because she's a minor, and I did tell her there are people who want to help you. And at this point, there's a lady coming up to us, obviously very aggressive with me, saying you cannot touch children and you cannot have. I don't even remember what she said because I was so shocked the way she spoke at me. And I told her, are you her mother? Do you need help? She said she was not her mother, she was some social caretaker or something. It was a very weird situation. There was this 15-year-old, and she dragged the girl inside of the abortion clinic, not forcibly, but she told her very aggressively, come with me, let's go. And I told her that I don't think she wants this abortion. And she got even more aggressive with me, called me names, which I don't remember, and she entered the abortion clinic. We tried as much as we can to save this child from this horrific procedure. And and then only to get accused by the police of doing something wrong. And it's just to go through this, obviously to get out of my comfort zone, but to realize how messed up our society is, how messed up it is that you try to help someone and you get called by the police that you're doing something wrong. And why talking with the police, they're always going back to the legal situation of what you can do or you cannot do in front of an abortion facility. And you're there are people who actually want to get help. And this was very moving, to see there was a girl who we didn't see, we talked with her yesterday. I talked with her yesterday. I think some of us talked with her yesterday. She was very open. She was very happy that we went to her. Very open about her. She was, I think, even happy to share about her situation. She thanked me several times that we were having this conversation. She did say that she did want to get an abortion still. She didn't show up today while we were there.
She didn't show up for the killing day, so that's a good sign. It just shows what direct intervention does. Lives are being saved, lives are being transformed, and lives are being touched. And not only that, it's these children who were killed today, they didn't die alone. We were out there.
Exactly. This is what I was about to say. Even if they went for the abortions, I've heard people saying that had abortions, who was there for me? At least we were there for them.
Yes.
Before, after, with a hug. We're not different to that.
Yeah. Exactly. We were there to love them to the fullest extent, and I think that's what matters. And I'm just so honored to be able to share these moments with you. I definitely will take it back with me and really appreciate it, because I've been on out in front of abortion facilities for over a decade now, and I kind of remember 19-year-old Lauren, her first time out there, being scared and not knowing what to say, and I remember the people who guided me, and I can reflect back on that with a greater appreciation that I've come full circle to be here for your first time as well. It's very special to me.